listening to me. I'm trying to develop a certain calm in dealing with this subject matter in a larger context and being able to talk perhaps in a political environment in the future. So this is a portion out of one of the books, Speaking to Inform, about a particular topic. You know, Albert Einstein said that time is what keeps everything from happening all at once. Time is a vector with a direction. And what is time, the passage of time? Come on, Thesaurians. What's the passage of time? What's the past? What's a better word for the past? No guess? History, of course. You know the old song, don't know much about history? According to Wikipedia, history is the documented record of events in the past. The documented record. If it's not documented, it happened before people learned how to write, it's prehistory. If it's not documented, but people say it happened and they have stories, it's legend. It is not history, it is legend. Important distinction there. We have documentation of Caesar being stabbed on March 15th, 44 BC, right? We don't have record of when King Arthur and Guinevere, and who was that knight? Lancelot. We don't have no record of that. History was kind of invented by this ancient Greek guy called Herodotus, who thought maybe we should track and see what happened. You know, there's a Far Side cartoon where two cavemen are standing there, and there's a dead elephant, and he's got an arrow in his foot. And one caveman says to the other, maybe we should just write that spot down. You all learned at an early age, I hope, don't put your hand on a hot stove. What happens? You're going to get burned. Well, you might know that. Do your kids know that? Not necessarily. But if you tell them oral history or write it down, say, don't put your hand on a hot stove because it hurts. That's important. So, the thing about history and documenting it, right? In school, history is the most popular subject for everybody, right? No. George Santayana said, those that forget history are condemned to repeat it. Those that forget history are condemned to repeat it. Well, do we want to repeat history? Do we want to repeat the lady that the very first quarter she put in the slot machine won $2 million a couple weeks ago?
Yes.
Or do we want to repeat World War II and the Holocaust, 9/11 in New York, certain election outcomes? I don't think so. History is important. You know, history is also an academic pursuit. The academicians, is that a word? Of course it is. Include in history subject areas like periods, Victorian England, baby boom era, disco, and I was going to do my own. Unfortunately, I don't know how. They might classify it in geography or geographical terms. The history of the Silicon Valley peach orchards, they're no longer there. Or the history of Temple Terrace. Maybe we're not getting across the importance of history with that one. They also could classify it as events. World War I was a huge political upheaval event. Much more so actually than World War II. It's the start of a major political event, so they call World War I as an event that changed the world. The fall of the Roman Empire, that was another event. The English invasion and the history of rock and roll, was that not an event? Come on, baby boomers. Oh, wait. I don't see any out there. But back to the quote, those that forget history are condemned to repeat it. History is written by the winners of the world, not the losers. Are the winners always the good guys?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. And the losers, they're dead. So, history is used by people. It's used usually in a nationalistic or patriotic context for people's agendas. You know, think of Nazi Germany. I was watching a TV show the other night, and it was showing their history text, what they taught. It wasn't very accurate, and it was very programmed for their specific agenda. That is a dangerous situation. And that's not just there. It happens all over and all of the time. You ever watch a movie about gladiators and they wear wristwatches and they talk like 20th century Americans? Well, that's also inaccurate history and might give people the wrong impression. You know, think 10,000 years in the future, and some archaeologist has no knowledge of 20th century America. We've all disappeared. And the only artifacts that he can find are a user manual on how to play Donkey Kong and the lyrics to songs by Weird Al Yankovic. You know, what impression is he going to get of us? It can be inaccurate. You know, there's been actually a proposal in the school system in this country to do away with teaching history. This is a real situation. Ask me later for the state. Shame to say it, it's not Florida. They want to do away with teaching history because it's not important to kids anymore. Well, yes it is. It's very important. Marcus Garvey said, a people without the knowledge of their past history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots. And what is a tree without roots? Falls over. Thank you all.
Excellent.